day 3. Last night was a little painful. When I was coming to my campsite, I thought I felt fine, and then that last mile, it was more like shuffling than hiking. And then when I went to bed, everything in the lower half of my body was just absolutely in pain. So probably pushed it a little further than I should have, considering I'm not through hiking and I don't have 600 plus miles under my belt. Actually haven't worked out that much in the past month. Carrying a little extra weight too. So, yeah, once I got to sleep, I went to sleep though, but it was pretty painful. So currently still walking through Rockhouse Basin, about 5 miles to the junction with Kennedy Meadows. And Rockhouse isn't really lit up right now, but the mountains across the way are, so hold on. So you can see the sun lighting up the tops of those mountains across the way of the basin. This basin, when it's lit up, is really pretty, but still kind of cool now. I have a little less than a mile till I hit the Kern, and there's 3 places along the Kern to get water, which I desperately need. I ran low on water yesterday too. There's another hiker, it's like the only other hiker I've seen, which is weird, and he overloaded with water, so he gave me some water, but I definitely need to chug like a liter of electrolytes when I get to the Kern. But I should be following the Kern most of the day, so water should not be an issue. So that's my next stop. We have a river. It's I think the South Fork of the Kern River. Much lower than it was last year, but it's still a river. Still got a big volume of water flowing because I had to fill up at streams before. Sometimes those streams are a little trickle. I mean, you can get several liters of water out of it. It just takes a while. But there's a nice, relatively large flowing body of water. So I just need to wait until the trail dips down and I can access it. Much prettier during the daylight, which hasn't quite reached this section yet, but we'll be seeing this river a lot more frequently today. Here's the sun. Came out right in my face. It's very beautiful. It's also very painful. I just filled up about a liter of water, which I mixed with electrolytes, and chugged some of it, but I'm gonna go to another site to fully refill. It's got a campsite. I was actually kind of hoping to make it there last night, but that was absolutely not happening, so I'm gonna stop there for the rest of my water. This is the Kern River, and this is a sight for sore eyes, especially since I ran a little low on water yesterday. Huge volume of water. Not moving as fast as I remember, but there's plenty of water to filter from. There are these small rapids over there. Should be good. Should be good water. And then I think further up, there's an access point with a little swifter moving water, but I'm going to, look at those cool boulders. I'm gonna fill up on water until my next access point, and I probably won't have to carry as much water today as I had the past couple days, so that's pretty awesome. But hello Kern River, I'm excited to see you. Views, views, views. Just came over a hill to this view. I love this section. It's really, really pretty. So I'm going to be going through those meadowy like areas until I reach the junction of Kennedy Meadows. I should start seeing some structures soon. Kennedy Meadows isn't really like a town. It's just kind of a collection of buildings and everything's kind of spread out. But yeah, that's really pretty. Really pretty. Definitely enjoying this section today. I know I'm going to go through a bit of a burned section, so enjoy this beautiful vegetation while I can. I just came upon the 700-mile marker. People who hike the trail tend to make these markers every 100 miles, usually out of stones, sometimes out of like sticks and pine cones. But if I started from the Mexican border, I would have gone 700 miles by this point. I haven't. I've gone like 50 because I'm a cheater. But here's the view from 700 miles. You can see we're on the edge of a property. There's actually a cabin back there. But nice, beautiful expanse of land surrounded by the mountains. And for those who reach this point from the border, well done. 700 miles. According to those stones. There they are. Okay. I think like 2 miles to the junction, to the road to the general store of Kennedy Meadows. Okay, so I'm almost to the junction with the road. You can see the Kern, South Fork of the Kern, babbling through this area, and then there's some homes and some mobile homes and stuff that goes this way. But really gorgeous view. And about to hit the road, which I'm just gonna go past, and then the campground should be in a couple miles. I'm now about to cross the main road that goes through the huge metropolis of Kennedy Meadows. To the right here is the general store, but it's a shade under a mile from this junction. And then Grumpy Bear's, which is the kind of backcountry bar restaurant thing, is probably another 2 miles from there. Same with the Outfitter. So everything's really spread apart. If it was, there's a PCT sign. If it was later in the day, I might make that detour to the country store, general store, just to get a cold beverage, but it's still pretty early in the morning, so it's not really worth the detour for me. So I'm just gonna cross this road and head to the campground, which is still about another 2.5 miles away. Have a PCT sign. Just go straight up to that. So don't take this road. Trail is right here. And that's the PCT sign. And this is the PCT. So this gorgeous view is walking the meadowy area of Kennedy Meadows towards the campground. The campground is at the very end of this pretty flat stretch, and then I believe it starts going up in elevation after the campground. But really nice trail in between that road and the campground, and really just enjoying these views. Do a swing around, but definitely change in scenery from yesterday, and like a 180 change in scenery from the day before when I was starting, where there was, you know, Joshua trees and not much else. Very desert-like. It's amazing how quickly these things change. Alright, I've hit the junction with the campground. You can see the entrance there. So this is Kennedy Meadows, the campground. It's a big loop, and the trail, so that's how you get in via car. Trail kind of cuts through the middle of it. I'm not really stopping at the campground. I'm not using the campground, but the campground does have privies, which is a bit of a luxury. So I am going to yeah, maybe take advantage of one of the amenities here. But I'm going to keep going after that. Now entering the South Sierra Wilderness, as evidenced by this heavily graffitied sign. Not much more to say about it than that. Entering a wilderness designated area. Should be crossing the Kern River on a bridge, and I'll stop there. But yeah, it's just paralleling the Kern for a while, so if I am in need of water, I probably have access to it. And I think I go past an area that's kind of burned, but just will start to gain an elevation and hopefully get to some of those lower level meadows today. So the PCT dropped down almost level with the Kern again. You can see even the Kern kind of looks different here. So just keep heading north. I should be getting to my bridge fairly soon, but already the landscape is changing. We got all these pine trees, got that gorgeous branch of the river, and gaining some elevation. I have arrived at the bridge that crosses the Kern River. You can probably hear it. It's got some nice flow in this area. It's right here. This is a really nice place to grab some water. I'm also going to stop and have lunch here. There's some shaded flat spots to enjoy. So let me just show this area because it's really pretty. You got the mountains there. You got the Kern. A lot more pine trees, and they smell really, really good. It's not like the evergreen scent. It's a subtle pine, and it's got some like vanilla scent to it, maybe a little bit of caramel. It's not like your evergreen Christmas tree scent. It's just really nice. So, gonna stop here and take my lunch break. Gorgeous. One of the advantages to being at an actual river instead of a little stream is I have the ability not just to fill water, but also to kind of soak my feet a little bit and wash off the dirt from my legs. Whatever it is about the PCT, your legs get really dirty, and I'm wearing pants too. So let me show you what 2+ days on the PCT does to your legs. You see this? This is all dirt. So I'm just going to wash it off. It should come off pretty easily. Right now, months at a time of that though. Wow, that's dirty. Months at a time though, it seems to get harder and harder to scrub off. So people I hiked with called it permadirt because you couldn't really get it off. But these are gorgeous, gorgeous, relaxing pools on the Kern River. It's looking that way behind me. And I've got my mat set up for lunch, and I just wanted to wash some of that dirt off in these really pretty pools. And they're nice and cold. Get a little bit of therapy in before I start hiking again. Taking a little break right now. This is looking south on the trail. It's really hot, so I'm trying to get sit in the shade when I can. It's about 90 degrees, and I'm at 7,000 feet, almost 7,000 feet. So that's pretty impressive. I'm taking a break in the shade while I can because I have this coming up, and that looks like it's going to start the area that's burned, and there's not going to be a lot of shade. And like I said, it's really hot. So big difference between this and this. Still got a little bit of shade going north on the trail, but that's going to end soon. Things are starting to get a little bit more green. I should be approaching the meadows pretty soon. I know one of them is Beck Meadow, and then the other one is Monache or Monache, however that one's pronounced. But it's encouraging. It's really lovely. There's a little stream, creek, river, probably creek, flowing through the middle of this little valley. It's making everything green. I just stopped and I got a little bit more water, but heading towards the meadows. Just came upon a bunch of wildflowers. It's just a big patch of them. It's kind of in an area that's been burned. I've been going in and out of that area. Looking back, I just climbed all the way from all the way down there. So almost to the top of this climb. Already seeing some nice wildflowers, and I should be getting really close to Beck Meadow. So that's exciting. These flowers are very pretty. Trail sign for the Pacific Crest Trail. Looks like the area I just passed through was a meadow as well. It's called Clover Meadow. But this way is to Beck Meadow and Monache, however it's pronounced. I've never heard it pronounced before. Meadow. And guess what? Right here is Beck Meadow. And I think the trail goes right through it. You can kind of see in the background some of those higher peaks that go above tree line. But kind of coming through a little corridor right now, and I'm super excited to be heading into the meadow. It's just a shade under 8,000 feet here. I really don't have anything to say. It's just really gorgeous. I'm just really happy to be walking this mountain meadow. And then I've got maybe a little uphill. I forget what exactly it is. Maybe it's this hill up here. I'm not sure. Then I will drop down into the other meadow for the day. And I'm actually going to be camping down in that area. So once again, Mountain Meadow. Just really excited to be here and walking it. Just came from this direction, that's southbound on the PCT. You can kind of see it coming down from that hillside, and I'm dropping down into the second meadow, the one that starts with an M. You can see the Kern winding through it. I think over this way is a footbridge, and that's where I'm gonna stop for the night. But what a difference a year makes. I mean, last year these banks were totally full. So all the brown you see was water, and I was incredibly thankful that there was a footbridge to go over, because it didn't look like you could cross otherwise. Now it's still a river, there's still a lot of water, but there's much less water than last year, but still very beautiful. Okay, heading down. So I'm down at the Kern right now. This is the footbridge. You can probably see there's swallows going crazy under there. It's because there should be some swallow nests. It's probably hard to see, but it's just filled with swallow nests. That's it for day 3. Day 4, I only have about 4 more miles to get to the junction at Monache Pass to take the trail back out and exit the PCT. It's all uphill though. I'll be going from 7,800 feet to just over 9,000 feet. And then when I take the trail down, it will be going back down to 4,000 something feet. So should have some good pine forests tomorrow. I think there's a nice alpine meadow right at the junction, and then it's losing all the elevation I gained over the past 3 days.